Hi everyone, welcome back to Monroe City Schools TV. My name is Miss Mannering and I teach 4th grade ELA at Cypress Point University Elementary. Today we are going to be digging into lesson 4 of our Hurricanes unit. Hopefully in front of you, you have a pencil and a piece of paper. And for this lesson, you may need a few pieces of paper. So go ahead and grab that now if you need to. In our last lesson, we identified key text features and learned that text features support readers in understanding the text. Today, we are going to use that information to create our own text feature to support the passage, Surviving Hurricanes, that we've been reading the past 3 days. So our job today is going to be to create a text feature that visually compares the 4 hurricanes. We need to include specific details such as the names, locations, dates, number of deaths, and amount of physical damage. So again, we are going to be creating a text feature to compare those 4 hurricanes. Now I want you to think back to all the text features we learned yesterday. Which text feature helps us compare and contrast information easily? You're right. A chart or a table helps us compare and contrast multiple items, and it helps us find information easily. So here we have our example of a table or a chart, and this chart compares the different categories of a hurricane. So we need to look at all of our information to figure out, what are the names, the location, the dates, the deaths, and the physical damage of our hurricane. The first hurricane we are going to look at is the Hurricane Galveston, Texas. Now, we are not going to reread every bit of information. Instead, we are going to skim the passage to look for where we can find the name, the date, the number of deaths, the location, and the amount of physical damage. So when I first look here, I see Galveston, Texas, 1900. That tells me already I have the location and the date. So on your paper, I want you to take notes and I want you to write down our information that we find. So you can write down Galveston, Texas, 1900. We'll use that information to make our text feature in just a moment. So now I'm skimming through, I'm looking for the name of the hurricane, the number of deaths, and the amount of physical damage. So when I skim through this, I've already read it twice, so I know kind of what it's saying. I know this first page was really about before the storm. I don't think we're going to find the number of deaths and the damage before the storm, but I'm looking to see if I can see the name of the hurricane. As I look through here, I don't see any names for the hurricane. Let's see if we can find it on our next page. So on the next page, this part talks about the meteorologist and then watching the sky. I see 1900, that's again our date, but I don't see the name, the number of deaths, or the amount of physical damage. Here I see a picture of physical damage, but I don't see any numbers telling me how many houses were destroyed. I just see one picture. Okay, in our next page, we're looking for our name, number of deaths, and amount of physical damage. I'm looking through. This is a Scream in the Night. This was during the hurricane. I see that it says, the noises were dreadful, describing the details during the hurricane, but I don't see any information about after the hurricane, the damage that was happened. So I'm going to go to my next page. I'm skimming through it looking for a number of deaths or the amount of damage. Again, on that page I don't see it. Let's see if we can find it on our last page. Wow, I see a lot of numbers in this paragraph, so I'm going to really zoom in and read this paragraph because I think these numbers might be telling me the information that I'm looking for. The Galveston hurricane is the worst natural disaster in U.S. history. More than 6,000 people drowned or were killed by flying debris. Wow, so how many people were killed? More than 6,000. I want you to add that to your notes on your paper. You got it? Let's keep reading. The Category 4 hurricane destroyed 3,636 houses. I think that number shows us the amount of physical damage. 3,636 houses were destroyed. I want you to add that to your notes. Alright, so now the only information that I have not found is the name of the hurricane. And I don't see it on any of these pages. That is something special about the Galveston hurricane, is that it does not have a name like hurricanes do now. They did not name hurricanes that far in the past. So our name for this hurricane will simply be Galveston Hurricane. I want you to add that to your notes now. Alrighty, so we have done our research on the Galveston hurricane. You found the name of the hurricane, the location, you found the number of deaths, the houses destroyed, and the date that the hurricane happened. Now we are going to look at Darwin, Australia, and Cyclone Tracy that happened there. So again, the first thing we see on this page are really big words and letters that say Darwin, Australia, 1974. That automatically tells me the location, and it tells me the year that the storm happened. So I want you to add that to your notes on your paper. Alrighty, let's get to reading. Let's see if we can find the name, the number of deaths, and the number of houses destroyed. Alrighty, so here I see the date again. I see this in Darwin, Australia. We already have that information. As meteorologists at the Tropical Cyclone Warning Center watched, the storm slowed and seemed to be turning away, and then looped back toward Darwin. That doesn't tell me any information about the name, the number of deaths, or the amount of physical damage. But when I look down here, I see that it says, this map shows the path of Cyclone Tracy. That's the name of the hurricane, Cyclone Tracy. Now you may be asking, Miss Mannering, why is this called a cyclone and not a hurricane? Well, hurricanes are called different things in different parts of the world. So this is Cyclone Tracy. That's our name. Now as we look at our next page, I see a chart here at the bottom. I know that authors include charts or tables to help us find information quickly. So I'm going to look at that chart to see if that can quickly give me my information without me reading the rest of the text. The first thing I see is deaths. There were 66 people killed during this hurricane. Add that to your information. We'll use that in just a moment. Alrighty, then I see buildings destroyed. Around 10,000 buildings were destroyed. That shows us physical damage. Go ahead and add that to your notes. Great job. So we have done research for 2 hurricanes. Now I've already found my information for the other 2, so let's come together and actually make our text feature. The first thing I need to do is write my columns at the top. So I know that we have 4 hurricanes, so I'm going to draw 4 columns. That will be 3 lines. Please draw this at home write this on your paper. That way you can have your own text feature. Now I know that we're talking about the name, location, date, people killed, and physical damage. So I need 5 rows. So I'm going to draw 4 lines. To make 5 rows. Now I hope that your lines are straighter than mine, but right now drawing on this board, mine are a little crooked. That's okay. Alright, so now I just need to fill in my chart. The first thing I'm going to do is put the name of all of my hurricanes. Alrighty, so I want to first put the Galveston hurricane. Next we have Hurricane Katrina. Then we will have Cyclone Tracy. And lastly, we have Cyclone Sitter. Next, I want to add in my location. Where did these storms take place? Now, we know that we've done our research. The Galveston hurricane happened in Galveston, Texas. Where did Hurricane Katrina happen? Do you remember? That's right, that was in New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm going to abbreviate Louisiana. Cyclone Tracy. We just did our research. Where was Cyclone Tracy at? You're right, it was in Darwin, Australia. Then we have Cyclone Sitter. Cyclone Sitter was in Bangladesh. Great job. The next thing we need to include are the dates. So I know Hurricane Galveston happened in 1900. Hurricane Katrina happened in 2005. I'm going to let you fill in when Hurricane Tracy happened because I already know you have that information at home because you were taking your notes. And Cyclone Sitter happened in 2007. Now we're almost done. We just need to include our number of deaths and physical damage. I want you to do this at home. So in this row, I want you to put number of deaths, and you will fill that in. And this last one, I want you to write the damage. When you're done with this, I want you to show it to your mom or your dad, your grandma or your grandpa, someone at home, and show them the text feature that you made. So today in our lesson, we learned how to create a text feature that will add information to our story. Thank you guys. See you tomorrow.